Hi everybody, Heidi here. I'm going to show you how I am doing Google order forms now because I've made a couple changes and tweaks and I've learned a couple things and I've learned some things that work best, at least for me. So I thought I would record a new video showing you how to get there and that sort of thing. So hopefully you can see my screen because I do have it on screen sharing. So first of all, we want to start with a Google tab. Now you need to be logged into your Google account, like a Gmail account. If you don't have one, you're going to have to set up a Gmail account. You should see your initial up here that shows that it's you that's logged in. That's really important. I'm not going to show you how to set up a Google account if you don't have one, but make sure you are logged into your Google account because that's important. Next, you're going to click on these 9 little dots here, and you're going to go to your Drive. You all have a Google Drive if you have a Google account. You might not know you have it, or you might not have anything in there, but you all do have a Google account. The next thing you want to do is you want to click on New, you want to go to More, and you want to go to Google Forms. And what that's going to do is it's going to take you to Google Forms, and it's going to create an automatic blank one for you. The thing is with a Google form is that the Google Forms are to your specific account. So it's not like something that I can make and share it with you and you guys copy it. It's just not that sort of thing. It's all linked to your Google Drive and your Google account. If I shared mine and somebody edited it, then you would edit the main one that's in my main account, and then it wouldn't work for anybody. So you just kind of have to follow these instructions to do it the best that you can. So a couple things. I'm going to open one of mine over here. Just one moment. It's in your little sealed bag. Never mind. Sorry, this is life with children. So, okay. So I've opened my Tupperware order form just so that I can look back and forth to see what I did. So the first thing I did was I made the background something that had to do with Tupperware. And you can click on this little button here and click Customize Theme, choose an image, and then you can upload a photo from your computer. And what I did was I have all the banners that Chrissy has made, and I just have them downloaded on my computer. And so I just picked one that is just kind of pretty, that will like let it know that it's Tupperware, whatever you want to use. And I'm going to use a Fridge Smart one just for this case. Okay, and it'll have you like slide your little slider, and I can say select. Doesn't really do anything. It just kind of makes your order form look like something that wasn't just generated by Google. It looks a little bit more customized. You can probably make another banner. And then you can pick like a theme color. I don't know if you want to, like my theme color could be pink. I don't really know what that does. Oh, but then my background, see, then my background's all nice and pink. You can play with all kinds of things like this. That's up to you. I just like to have that. First of all, I always start, I call this, so I'm going to make this for Kirsten's having a Tupperware party, and I'm going to call it Kirsten's Tupperware Facebook. You want to make a new one for every single party. You never want to have one that is for each one that you use continuously, because if you did that, you'd have everybody's orders mixed up. I mean, I guess you could, but I just don't do that. So my form description, I always give a little thank you for your order. I will listen. I'm just going to copy and paste what I have here. Okay. So I put in like, I'll send you a copy of your invoice prior to submitting on this date. Cards will be processed on that day to reserve the funds. And I always want to say that because if you take their order on Monday, they may think your card's running on Monday. And when you go to submit on Saturday, they've spent all their money. I give them my phone number. I give them my Facebook, and tell them to complete all the information. Okay, so my first question is always just a short answer. And if you're doing like a, you could say what is the name of your hostess? You could put that if you wanted, if you were doing something that was a different, like if you had multiple hostesses or whatever. Okay, But first of all, I'm going to say your name, and it's going to be a short answer they can fill in, and it's required. Okay, so it's a required question. Next, I'm going to say shipping street address, and this can be a short answer. It is also required. Shipping city, state, and zip. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, I separate these two lines because people will give me their street address all the time, assuming I know the city, state, and zip. It's like constant. And then I add billing address if different than shipping. Now, this I don't make required because it's not necessary. If it's the same, then it won't matter. Then I get their phone number, required, their email, required. See, it automatically picks short answer. It kind of knew. Then I add one called shipping. And this actually has been really great because it solves my shipping issues. So ship the order to the hostess, and I will pick up. And I'm just cutting and pasting, sorry. Ship the order direct to my doorstep, and I make sure I get rid of the other because I don't want another there, okay? So now they have to choose, it's required, they have to choose what kind of shipping they want, okay? So then my next section, I actually do as a, what I call a multiple choice grid. I think that's what I've got to add, just let me make sure. Got to make sure that I'm telling you right. Yeah, it's a multiple choice grid, okay? So these are going to be our record breaker sale items. And I'm going to put in here, there's this little picture thing here, and I'm going to put in a picture, and I'm going to upload the picture. And I have October record breaker. And there is the record breaker one-page flyer that Chrissy has made, okay? And I'm just going to put that picture here. We'll upload that picture. So here's all the record breaker sale items. Then I go down in the grid, and row 1, okay, is going to be $39 Bold Blossom sets. $39 Bold Blossom set. And number 2 would be $49 5-piece Fatsable Tower. I'm going to close Facebook so it stops beeping on us. And then you just go and you add everything. So $39 to, whoops, actually it's supposed to be the $50. I have the wrong one up here, but $50 to piece. And you see, you just go and add, you just go through and just add each of the things. Then over in your columns, I make a column that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Make sure you have a 0 in there, and I'm going to show you why. Okay? So let's say I've done this now, okay? And I'm going to show you what this looks like so that you can see why I did what I did. Okay? So I'm going to click on send. That's going to give me a link. I always shorten my URL and copy it. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to paste it so that you can see what that form looks like. And that's how you go and look and see, is your form doing what you want? Name, shipping, billing address, phone number, email. Here's my record breaker sale items. Then see, when somebody goes to answer this, they can say, oh, I want 2 of these, or oh, I want 1 of these. If you don't have a 0 and they change their mind, they have to select something here. They can't like get rid of their selection. It doesn't go away. So make sure you always have a 0 just in case. Oh, I want 1 of those. Oh, I want 2 of those. I want 4 of those. Okay. I figure 5+ is probably, people aren't really ordering 5 of anything. It's very rare. If they are, then they'll contact you and let you know, okay? So that's what it looks like. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm pretty happy with what it looks like. Leave. Okay. So now I'm going to go back here and I'll create, and this isn't required because if they don't want anything from here, then they don't have to have anything from here, okay? So then I'll create a second section. And once again, this is going to be another multiple choice grid, and this is going to be my mid-October sale items. I'm going to go to here, I'm going to browse, back in October, and I have my mid-October, and Chrissy's done an October one-page flyer, so I'm going to upload that. Okay, then I'm going to go through and I'm going to do the same thing. Classic cake paper. And I put the price in front. It's up to you if you want it in the front. You can put things alphabetically. What I usually do is I put them in order as they show on the flyer. So I'll start from left to right and put them that way, but it's totally up to you how you want to do it. $24 mini canister. I can only see so many, so that's why I'm doing this. $22. Okay, and then remember my columns are going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus. Okay. Then my next section that I add is regular catalog. And I say this. Are there any items you would like to order from the regular catalog as shown in the cover picture below? List item number if you have it, name, description, price. Sale items can be selected in the section above and do not need to be listed here. Okay, so, and then I have a picture just of the cover of the regular catalog. I don't know if I actually have one here, but I would upload a picture of the actual catalog if I happen to have one. I don't know why I don't, but for some reason I just don't happen to have one. Maybe I saved it in September. Wouldn't that be helpful? Nope, I didn't save any. Oh wait, here's this one. I'm just going to use this just so that you guys can see. I would upload an actual screenshot like of the front of this catalog. I wouldn't upload this picture. I would just do the front of the catalog so that they know what it looks like. And then this is, I put this as a paragraph so that they have lots of room to write what it is that they want, okay? Once again, not required because they may not want anything from the regular catalog. Next, I have payment options. And I say, whoops. Tupperware accepts Visa, MasterCard, and Discover. So I put in here Visa. You have to click on Add Other and then click on Add Option. MasterCard, Discover. And then you can say, prefer to pay another way, please call me at the number above. And then I also, because maybe they're like, you know what, I don't want to give you my credit card here, I'd like to do it over the phone. And then I also leave an option of I'm not ordering today, because maybe they're not ordering, but they want to book a party. And so you want them to fill out the link just to get their information. And maybe if you say, hey, if they go, well, I'm not ordering today, but I'd like to book a party, you might say, hey, here's my link to my order form. You don't need to select any of the ordering things, but this way I get your information. They may go through and look through and go, oh, wait, that's only $12. Maybe I do want to order that today. You just don't know. So, but I always give them this option, and this is required, okay? Because I do need to know how they want to pay. Then I add credit card number, and I always say, please no spaces, because that way I could cut and paste if I needed to. And that's just a short answer. And I don't know what response validation has been added. I'm going to say remove, because I don't really care. It's not required because if they're not paying through a credit card, then they don't need to do that. Credit card expiration date. Once again, short answer. And then I'm just cutting and pasting credit card CVV from the back of the card. So I always get the 3 digits from the back of the card because you never know if you end up having to process outside the system. You may recruit a hostess and then you need to run all the payments through Square or through some outside way. And if you don't have the CVV, then you have to call the customer for it. So I always make sure I get that. It's just something that I do. I add a box for please store my credit card for future orders. And it can be multiple choice. Yes. No. Make that required. Then I create one that says let's party. Once again, I'm cutting and pasting here. You guys can like pause it so that you can get all my wording if you need to. And this one is, I have it as check boxes. And option 1 is always, I'd love to host a live Tupperware party. You can add, sorry, I want to have an easy Facebook party. This one is not within the next month. Check back with me. This one's I will think about it. And this one's no thank you. And always make sure you get rid of other because they're going to check other. Sometimes it just shows up automatically and you have to get rid of it. Make this required. And the picture, you can select whatever picture you want, but usually you could use like whatever the host thing is. Maybe you've got the host credit, you know, that they get for booking a party. Maybe you have a picture of keychains. I don't know if I have the host credit somewhere. I don't know. If you have pictures of keychains, sometimes that's attractive to them. So like on mine, I'm going to move this back over. I have pictures of keychains that I'm holding. So you could say, you know, something about keychains, whatever. But I have a picture in here about booking a party that gets people interested in what I'm saying. And then I always add one about signing up and starting your business. And now remember, it's $55 plus tax or $70 for our new holiday on the go. And so with this, it's a little different because we have 2 kits, right? So I would do it as, because this is going to be a little bit different. Maybe do it as multiple choice and be $55 down. I'll have to come up with the wording. You know, you'd come up with the wording. But so here you would put in your, actually, I'm changing my mind here. Sorry, you got to bear with me. I would put right at the moment, because we have the 2 kit pictures. Let me see if I can find it, because I know I just did it. So here's, oh, this is September's. So I would put whatever the new kit picture thing is. It's uploading. It's slow. Okay, so here's the new kit picture with the party bonuses and the welcome bonuses. Now this was for September, so make sure you put the right one in. And then I put in here $55 now. Well, you could say, I want the fall and holiday kit for under $50 now. Or you could say, I want the holiday hustle kit for only $70. Or you could say, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. You can have not at this time. Okay? Get rid of other, because you don't want them to check other. So you could have this. I mean, I know there's different options here, and you want a different picture, but make it multiple choice and make it required. They should have to. And then I always add a comments, notes, or questions box, because, and make it just a paragraph is fine, in case they have any questions, okay? And then the last thing I do is I add a, should be a, just a note. There isn't really a, how do I have this? I think I just have a, it's just a description. Oh, right to cancel. And I put in there that the buyer has 3 days to cancel. And the reason I do that, I don't know, it's supposed to be like just a description. I'm not really sure why it's not doing it. Let me see, maybe if I delete this. Add a question, import questions, add a title and description. There we go. So right to cancel. I feel like the receipts say they have 3 days to cancel, and I want to put it on my receipt. That way, if somebody comes back to me and they've got their stuff and they say, well, I want to do a return, and Tupperware says they have a return, well, that's not the policy when they order through a consultant. You can order it on the website, but when you order through a consultant, you only have 3 days to cancel. So I put that on there because that's what is on the bottom of our actual paper order forms, and I feel like that's important. Okay, so now if I want to see what it looks like, I go to link, shorten, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go to another tab, and I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to see if it looks the way that I want it to look. So then, I'm sorry. So then as I look through, I should have muted my phone, I apologize. So then as I look through, I can see, okay, that's that, the dates are correct, name, address, phone number, and I actually would go through and like go, okay, shipping, make sure I can select one, go through here, make sure I can select the different things that I want, the options that I want. Here's the mid-October, regular catalog, can I type in things, page 35, whatever, you know, $45. Okay, so I can type in different things. I can select my credit card. I can put in all that information. Oh, I made this required. No, I don't really need to have this as required because if I chose to pay a different way, so I can take that off. Let's party. Now remember, I would have had a picture here, so someone has to, oh, and I have it on a checkbox so they could select all of them. I'm like, oh, that's not really what I want. I don't want it to be a checkbox. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to make this, I want this to be multiple choice. So that's why a reason you want to go in and you want to make sure that it's exactly what you want it to be, and check it. And then the right to cancel and then submit. Okay. Couple other things. I'm going to close this because I don't want that. Couple other things is up in the settings here. I never collect email addresses because that, if you do that, it makes them sign into Google with their Google account to do the form, and I don't want them to have to sign into Google because I have found in the past if people have to sign into Google, they won't do it. I also have this edit after submit, but what I found is that I can click that box all I want, but it doesn't seem to really do anything. So I don't really know what it does, but you can check it or not check it. Then let's say you get done with this one and you're running 3 or 4, right? You don't have to start from scratch every time. You can just say, make a copy. And then you can call it the new one. This will be Susie's Facebook Tupperware party, whatever you want to call it, okay? And I have folders in my drive for Facebook party order forms, but that's, you can watch Google and figure out how to make folders and how to organize your Google Drive. But then you can make a new one, okay? So now when there's responses, you would click over on responses and it'll show you your responses. So once again, I'm sorry I didn't do all this, but When you click on responses, you would see the responses, and there's going to be a spot there that says individual or other, and you want to see the individual responses, not a summarized one. And then you can see everybody's individual response. When you're done with the party, you want to click on not accepting responses so that somebody doesn't accidentally go in after the party and enter their order. Maybe they're in the party and they didn't enter their order, and 2 weeks later they go, oh shoot, I wanted to enter an order, and they go in and do this, and then you never responded them. So you want to unclick accepting responses. Otherwise, you constantly need to keep checking back to make sure that people aren't in there doing different things. You can also say get email notification to new responses. Know that that email is going to go to your Gmail account. So if you're like me and you never check your Gmail account, that's a problem. I mean, you can have them sent to your email, but I would never see them because they go to my Gmail. So hopefully that helps you do a Google order form a little easier when you're in your Google Drive. And there is, that form was now an untitled form. You can go in and rename it. And this is going to be Kirsten's Facebook Party 10/7/19. Okay. And all you do is go back. So now to find it again, this is the other thing that people get confused on. To find it again, you would go to your Google Drive, and it may pop up because it's saved now in your Google Drive. So let's say you got partway through it and you quit and you need to come back. You'll probably see it right here. But you need to make sure, like I have a folder, Facebook Party Order Forms, and that's where all my Facebook Party Order Forms are, okay? And I don't see Kristen's in here, so obviously it went to the wrong place. So if I go back to my drive, I need to figure out how to remember how to get it into the right folder. I don't remember how I did it. Maybe it's in preferences. Nope. Oh, folder. And I want to put it in my drive folder for Facebook Party Order Forms. So I want to move it there. And I've just created in my Google Drive, you can create folders. You just say new folder. Okay, create a folder called Facebook Party Order Forms. There it is. And when you click on that, there's all my Facebook party, all my order forms for all my Facebook parties. And that way I always have contact information. I can always go back and find people. And when I go through these, this is also now my good list for a Facebook party. So let me see if I've got one. It's an old one. See if this one had responses on it. So see how there's responses? And you see summary, or you can go to individual, and that way you'll get people's individual responses for things. But now I have everybody's phone number and I have their email that I can go in and add to my mailing list, my labels. I can sit and look through all my Google order forms and figure out phone numbers for sending text messages and all of that. So it's a great way of collecting information as well as collecting orders. And what you can always do is when you send them a copy of their invoice, and I always enter their order into the Tupperware system, do a screenshot, send them a copy of their invoice, and then remind them, you know, I noticed that you didn't select whatever the extra item is. Let's say, I noticed you didn't select the classic quick shake container. Did you notice it was only $10? Would you like to add that to your order? Okay. You really want to pay attention to what they're ordering and what in their Facebook party they're commenting on, because they may not have seen it, or they may have forgotten it by the time they got to the order form. I do find that this is the best way for me to collect orders and for people to actually, it looks like something that you would go online and order form. So I hope that helps you all. And if you have any questions, I'm sure your director can help you, or you can comment here, tag your director, and they'll help you as well. All right, bye everybody.